One other thing that has really impressed me with you, and I just am proud to even know you and have been helping you last year, is you were PTA president last year for Grass Valley Elementary, which is a really big job. And I just want you to tell us a little bit about what is the PTA or PTO. Why don't we start with that and see?
Sure. Well, each of our 6 elementary schools in the Camas School District, as well as our 2 middle schools, have a PTO or a PTA. In terms of the acronym, you just have the difference of it being the Parent-Teacher Association or the Parent-Teacher Organization. And fundamentally, they both get together regularly and meet with their parents, and they offer structure for parents or grandparents who want to get involved. So if you're a parent, most likely you've been in the classroom making copies, helping children with their reading instruction, that sort of thing. And PTAs and PTOs offer supplementary programs or assistance and a lot of fundraising that overall enhances what parents, teachers, staff, and students do at any given school.
Awesome. So I do know that the PTA at Grass Valley did some amazing things last year. You raised a lot of money, number one. Can you tell us what you do with that money and how that money goes back into our school and helps the teachers or the students, that faculty, that type of thing?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing that anyone should know is that the money is spent where the parents want it spent, with implicit direction from the principal and the teachers. So these aren't wild ideas we're coming up with on our own. These are things that the parents are showing interest in. For instance, at Grass Valley, Art Discovery was a huge program that our wonderful volunteers, Karen Dewey and Jane DeForest Hansen, came up with, based on a program that was done at another school. So they really came to us, and then they led the drive to implement that at Grass Valley. There's lots of fundraising that's done for specific programs, as well as just to kind of have in a pot, more or less, so that if teachers later, like in the middle of the year, come to us and say, we want to fund a reading program, or we have this great idea, that we'll give it a really good inspection and see if it meets the criteria for something that we feel like our members would want to be involved in. We put that in front of our members, and then hopefully we go ahead and we grant that money to teachers or staff so they can really put their ideas into action.
I think you guys do a great job and have done a great job. I know this year you will be serving on the PTA, not the president this next year, but I'm sure that you'll still be at the school all the time as you were last year. If I were a parent and I wanted to get involved in the PTA or the PTO, do I go to a website? Is that something I'd ask at the front desk? How would I get on that committee or sign up to be on the PTA or PTO?
All of the options that you can possibly think of are all avenues to find out more information. The office staff always is a great place to start, but most or every parent organization has a website, and these days a Facebook page. There's probably a few even on Twitter. At Back to School Night, which every single school has, either at the elementary school level, it's Back to School Night like we know it. In the middle schools and high schools, it's more of an orientation time, but those are all opportunities for parents to ask. I'm sure there's flyers absolutely everywhere on Back to School Night. And I do also want to mention that at the high school, there's not a PTO or PTA per se, but there's boosters and there's parents that support every single little club. And those are great avenues as well.
Okay, great.